If friends tomorrow, many Ghana general tomorrow more than 7, 8. Now me to Jinyo be a friend, then I'm a bear who come on. As I move from here to different places, economic capital.
If you don't take any deliberate effort to address climate change, it means that if you're not careful, in the next 20 or 30 years, we might end up wiping out majority, of our, populace.
Begbe is a coastal community in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. This place is home to more than 50,000 people, according to data from Ghana's Statistical Service. But many residents here are gradually losing their homes to sea erosion. Bawa Seidu used to live here and is tracing his steps back to a place he once called home. The 32-year-old lived here with his family until the sea began to claim it.
Dente. You Onaki she so she need dente. Alo 15 need dente. She the best I want to buy national because I'm afi. You go be if they are
Ghana loses about 2 meters of its coastline every year to coastal erosion. According to UNESCO, nearly 40% of Ghana's coastal land was lost to erosion between 2005 and 2017. And the situation keeps getting worse every year. Hundreds of people in Begbeise have already been displaced. Countries across the world are experiencing rising sea levels as a result of a combination of meltwater from glaciers and ice sheets and thermal expansion of seawater as it warms. Experts are linking the rising sea levels to climate change and other human activities. Some of the human activities include industrialization, as well as the burning of fuels in vehicles used for transportation, which end up polluting the environment. The global emission of gases, including carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere ends up destroying the ozone layer, leading to global warming. While millions of people in sub-Saharan Africa rely on charcoal for cooking, experts say it contributes to climate change because trees are chopped and burnt to make it. In Ghana, nearly 80% of households use fuel wood, including charcoal, for cooking, according to government data.
Ade efe ni jade anakware ano ye den ade efe unsi kwa mba say mo say ma mo ya di o ano ye den na make antin ebedu ba bi no ese mesesa.
Environmental campaigners want the government to provide subsidies on cleaner energy sources like LPG, so people cut down on the use of fuel wood and charcoal. Ghana is not looking to take that step as yet, but the government wants to increase the use of clean cooking fuels from 23% to 50% in urban and rural areas by 2030.
It is important that the transition first recognize that and we move people to efficient stove or improved cook stoves that suit their current cooking practices. That is, those using firewood, those using charcoal. If we can move them to clean fuels like LPG or electricity, we first of all change the technologies.
Experts believe more awareness campaigns are needed to make the mass population shift from charcoal and fuel wood to clean cooking technologies. Also, there is a need for countries across the world to shift from using fossil fuel to renewable energy in order to contribute towards reversing the impact of climate change. For instance, countries are being encouraged to use electric vehicles instead of cars that use petrol or diesel, but it is something that would take several years for many countries, including Ghana, to achieve. Back at Bigbeise, Bauer says the destruction of homes as a result of the rising tides has led to a massive displacement of residents.
Difference to more many Ghana to more than 7-8. Now I'm choosing your be a friend. Yeah, I'm a bear who come on. As I move from here to different places, she got a city, Bobanina or Washi. She want me to wabu and no near sign of offering. She got Cocoa Joya and my pin, who was a boba pin. Because if taken by name, Kishak Bell will be an Irahu. You can below your best, Bojo Monji, or free, they are both free in a time.
Bauer says a few years ago, this area was a drinking spot for party goers who came to the beach. Now it's totally gone, and what remains here are the pillars of the former recreation place.
If you don't take any deliberate effort to address climate change, it means that if you're not careful in the next 20 or 30 years, we might end up wiping out majority, of our, populace. So I think that when it comes to Africa or Ghana specifically, we need to put in place some conscious efforts, deliberate effort, I must say. I think the talks have been too much,
The government has been responding to the situation by constructing sea defense walls along the shoreline, but the project has been halted due to the lack of funds.
Because I got a defense, I don't feel support war. She didn't feel like she could.
In 2009, developed countries pledged to contribute $100 billion in climate finance annually to help developing countries adapt and mitigate against climate change. The support was to begin in 2020 and end in 2025, but analysts are concerned the commitment has not been met, which is why developing nations like Ghana continue to bear the brunt of environmental change.
Developed countries must be very responsible because all that we are facing is because of their actions and inactions. They're the ones who are causing all these problems. So they must be held accountable, or they must be responsible to this situation, and they must provide solutions or leadership in addressing the climate impact. And there could be a couple of number, so I mean they can do that in a number of ways. One is by providing the necessary financing, for those in developing countries, one, to adapt to the impact of climate change. So our colleagues who are now being impacted in the coastal areas by climate change, what do we do now? Whilst we look at the bigger issues, at least they must survive.
In an address to the United Nations General Assembly in 2019, Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo urged world leaders to take urgent steps to fight climate change.
Now that the scientists have spoken on the realities of climate change, I believe it is time to direct our energies to what we can and should do to counteract the danger and stop unnecessary arguments. Nature has been brutal this year in demonstrating to us that our climate is changing and we're probably pushing our world to destruction. The devastation wreaked by Cyclone Idai, Hurricane Dorian, the extreme summer temperatures across Europe surely provide the evidence, if some was still needed, that it's time to take action to bring back our world from the precipice.
Bawa Seidu sees the sea erosion as a ticking time bomb, a situation that authorities have been ignoring for far too long. He fears his community might soon be swallowed by the raging tides. But he believes that raising awareness and securing the right adaptation investments can save Gbegbeise before it's too late.